Okay, and I'll share my screen and okay. I want to thank you guys for being here today. And I'll start with this question. Why are we here? We are here because you were invited by someone who cares about you, and that person wants you to be exposed to information that could impact your financial well-being in a long-lasting way. And I'll go further to say, imagine this. Imagine that you have a solution to a problem that almost everybody has, and the ability to be able to build long-term income by helping people to solve it. And what is that problem? That problem is our health. You see, you cannot put a value on your life. If I were to ask you, Blandine or Yvonne or Lady or Shafay, what's the value of your health? What's the value of your life? You won't be able to, because you cannot put a value on your health. So imagine having a problem, a solution to the health issues that almost everybody faces, and the ability to be able to solve it. I want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Dieter. I'm a double board certified physician. I'm an internist, and I'm a pediatrician. I've been in medicine for 15 years now, but you don't have to be a doctor to make this assessment. Chronic diseases everywhere. The statistics say that in the United States currently, 70% of adults are on at least one prescription medication. That's an outstanding number. And the sad thing is that that number is expected to go up to 80% by 2050. And why? This problem of our health issue, um, boils down to two things. There are two main reasons today why we are sick. And the very first of it is something we call insulin resistance. And the second is something we call gut imbalance. These are the two main reasons why we are sick. And what I want to do, I want to take a little bit of time and explain to you how these two components cause all our problems. You see, we're very sick today because we eat in ways that are harmful to our biology, to two systems: the way our body makes energy, and the way our gut functions. Now, the way our body makes energy is governed by this hormone called insulin. And insulin is a very critical hormone because when you consume calories, insulin has to mobilize the glucose that is released into the blood as a result of the calories you have consumed into the cell. Okay, I'm trying to show you how our the way we eat affects the way our body makes energy. Now, insulin job is to get that glucose out of the cell, out of the blood, I beg your pardon, into the cell. In the cell, there is a special organelle in the cell called the mitochondria. It's like an energy factory of the cell. What happens is, in the mitochondria, the glucose is shone through that energy factory and results in the production of an energy molecule called ATP. ATP is simply energy. Now, that is how insulin secures the body's energy needs. Every cell in the body requires energy to function. The simplest entity of the body is a cell. Cell group up to form tissues. Tissues group up to form organs. Organ system. The system forms the whole man. And so When a cell doesn't have the energy that it needs to function, it malfunctions. The simplest definition of a disease is a group of cells, tissues, or organs that have malfunctioned. Now, when insulin is not able to secure the body's energy needs, that break that is we call that a breakdown, and that breakdown is called insulin resistance. Why do we have a breakdown today? The statistics say that in today's day and age, we're consuming 30 to 35% more calories than we're supposed to eat. Every time we eat, insulin has to go to work. Insulin has to do this process every time we eat. So if we're consuming 30 to 35% more calories today than our ancestors did, what that means is that insulin is going to work 30 to 35% more than it's supposed to. Shafir, if you had a job and your employer told you, Shafir, you're going to need to work overtime on this job 1 day in the year, that's okay. Yeah, you could do 1 day in the year. But if your employer tells you that on this job, you're going to have to work overtime 35% of the time every day, what's going to happen to you is that you're going to get burnt out. And when you get burnt out, you become inefficient in doing that work. So, because we're consuming way more calories than we're supposed to, our insulin has worked overtime 30 to 35% of the time, over and over and over again, and has gotten burnt out. And when your insulin gets burned out, it cannot secure the body's energy needs. And when it cannot secure the body's energy needs, you begin to have diseases that stem from this deficiency of energy. Fatty liver disease, cancers, high blood pressures, obesity, diabetes is the obvious one. But many of these issues coming from the body not being able to make energy well because insulin has gotten burned out. The other issue at the heart of why we are so sick today is our gut. You see, our gut is very, very important. And the health of our gut depends on the balance of bacteria in our gut. You see, the about 30 to 100 trillion bacteria that when God created you and I, He put in our gut to perform a very spatial function. And the gut, one of the very important functions of the gut is to regulate and train the immune system, right? Now, our gut relies on our gut relies on the health of the bacteria to be healthy. When the bacteria in the gut is not healthy, it throws into imbalance the health of the gut. And I'll put it this way: the bacteria in our gut, about 50% of the bacteria in our gut are what you call good bacteria, and the other 50% of the bacteria in our gut are what we call bad bacteria. Now, the health of the gut depends on the population of the good bacteria, each staying at 50-50. And what determines this 50-50% population of the bacteria in the gut is nutrients. The nutrients for the bacteria that colonize and live in our gut is fiber. Fiber is food for these organisms, is a nutrient that we humans do not digest. Now, unfortunately, our foods are very, very processed. Because our foods are processed, there's a shortage of fiber in our foods. That shortage of fiber causes a shortage of food for the bacteria in the gut. And when there is a shortage of food for the bacteria in the gut, what happens is that the bad bacteria, that is the stronger bacteria, are gonna hoard the little food that is there. And after they hoard the little food that is there, they say to themselves, survival of the fittest here. We don't have enough food to go around for us, the good guys and the bad guys. Let's go ahead and increase our population to keep a monopoly on this little food. And they may increase their population to 70% at the expense of the good guys to 30%. When you have that imbalance in the bacteria in the gut, it compromises the functions of the gut. And when it compromises the functions of the gut, we call that gut imbalance. And when you have gut imbalance, you now have problems that come as a result of gut imbalance. Lupus is a lot of autoimmune diseases come as a result of the gut not being able to do the job that it was meant to do, train our immune system to respond to attack. You may be surprised me talking about the immune system. 70% of your body's immune system resides in your gut. So when your gut is unhealthy, it turns your immune system against you, and you could begin to have autoimmune diseases. The other diseases, colon cancer, come as a result of an imbalance in the gut, anxiety and depression, and so on. Now, I bring this is just uh, a synopsis presentation of the science. I talk about the science of this in depth every Sundays, Mondays, and also every Thursdays. I go deep dive into why we are sick. But this is just uh, a little preview, not to go into depth, because I want you to understand the opportunity that this presents. Now, this is the root of all of our issues. The body not being able to make energy well because insulin has gotten burned out, and the gut being thrown out of balance. Now, there is a health and wellness company that said if these two issues are the main root causes of modern day diseases, what if we could design, a nutraceutical product, natural, 100% made from plants that could help address and reverse the insulin resistance issue or the energy shortage issue from insulin resistance and dysbiosis. And so we're born these two products. These two products are products that go to address both of these issues to reverse the root cause. And when the root cause of the issues are reversed, these diseases go away. I like to explain it like this. We eat in ways that harm our body's biology and deprive our body of energy. Every cell in the body needs energy to function. All the diseases that we have in modern day society boil down to those two things. Most of them boil down to those two things because there's an insufficiency of energy. When energy is insufficient because the cells need energy to function, the malfunction disease. If you restore that energy shortage, those diseases go away. If you're driving a car and the car runs out of gas, what's going to happen is that car is going to stop. The car stops not because there's an intrinsic failure of the engine. No, it stops because its fuel source is gone. The energy source is gone. Now, if you were to walk to a gas station and buy gas and walk back to your car on the road and use a gallon and pump gas in that car is going to roar back to life again. Why? Because you have restored its energy source. The biology is so simple but so profound. So it is with our modern day diseases. If you could restore the root cause of what caused the stolen energy, diabetes goes away, high blood pressure goes away, depression goes away, dementia goes away, fatty liver goes away, and so on and so forth. And these two products have been shown to do that. Now, I will go back and say what's happening is that um, um, this is causing these two products. What they do is they use science, the science of intermittent fasting and fiber supplementation to reverse the root cause, reverse the insulin resistance and dysbiosis. Some of you here invited here today may have medical backgrounds. And I have this on here to show you that this product is listed in the physician's desk reference. I'm not going to go into details of how it works today. But if you're interested in knowing more about the science, please join us on Sunday or Monday where I'll do a deep dive into how this works. But what is happening is that after addressing the root cause, of our issues with these two products, people are getting real transformation. Hundreds of people who were once living with chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, obstructive sleep apnea, early onset dementia, PCOS, you name it, they are now living free of those conditions. And I'm going to show you some pictures here, just some testimonies. The picture in the top left hand corner is a picture of me. Between the picture in black and the picture in the salmon, that's a space of about of about 2 months. I lost 14 pounds. I became younger than I looked before, and my total cholesterol went down by 69 points in that period. This second picture is a picture of my twin sister. You see, these two energy issues are the reasons why we're sick. They cause our obesity. They cause all our wahala, all our issues. This is my twin sister. When I heard about this product and when it did what it did for me, I thought of my twin sister because just like me, she struggled with her weight. So I sent this product to her. I said, you need to use this. In a space of 2 months, she lost 26 pounds. The picture on the top right-hand corner is a picture of my dear friend Natasha, Dr. Natasha Pierre. She's a pediatrician. She suffered with gut issues, anxiety, suffered with insulin resistance, weight. That's a before and after transformation. Jim, the picture below, just below me, he was a diabetic, reverses diabetes. The other picture is Ro, A1C going from 14 to 5.9. And this other picture here at the bottom, at the bottom right, is a picture of a lady who was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and her family was going to put her in a nursing home. She started forgetting the names of people that she loved ones that she had known for a long time. And she heard about this product and she started using it. You see, the picture with the lady on the left, if you told me that she was a grandmother, I'll say, yeah, she is. She looks like a grandmother, acts like a grandmother, smells like a grandmother. But this is 2 months apart and it's the same lady where she has her glasses now on her head. She got some swag to her, it's feeling good. If you told me that that was a grandmother in that second picture, I'll wrestle with you a little bit. It's not that obvious. That's what happens when you begin to restore the root cause. She reversed the early onset dementia. The family had to scrap plans of sending her to the nursing home. Her name is Sue. In I met Sue in December in December or January in Las Vegas just recently. I met Sue in Las Vegas. So she's thriving and doing well. Now, millions of stories of people like that who are getting their lives back. Unfortunately, our kids are not immune to the epidemic of diabetes or obesity or whatever. And this is also effective in children. I have four kids. A 7-year old, a 5-year old, a 2-year old, and a 9-month old. My 7-year old, 5-year old, and 2-year old. I give them this product every day because health is wealth. Prevention better than cure. And so, no limitation to children, it can help them too. The health benefits for that. So, what this is doing because of these real transformations, it's creating a powerful ripple effect. People are experiencing life changing, people who are experiencing life changing benefits are becoming lifelong consumers and are sharing that with others. So it's creating that domino effect, which creates the opportunity to build wealth. Now, this is how you could get into this company or take advantage of this. Remember, imagine having a solution to a problem that almost everybody has. Now, what the company that the health and wellness company that makes this nutraceutical product, lets people get into the business uh, through what we call a digital franchise model, like owning a franchise, and help. And the business model is through multi-level marketing. And so to be able to capitalize on this opportunity, the company invites you to make a one-time investment of 1549. Normally, the retail price of one box of this product is $170. But when you make a one-time investment of 1,549 to become what we call a distributor or a franchise owner, what happens is that the company is going to send you 10 boxes of the product, for that price instead of 1,700. The company now tells you to do this, to take one box of the product and keep for yourself to use it, because the company wants every distributor to be a good ambassador and representative of the product, and how well and what's the best way to be an ambassador, to be able to use the product and to talk about what it's doing for you. So they advise you take one box and keep for yourself, and you take the other nine boxes and you sell the other nine boxes for a price of $170. If you sell the other nine boxes for a price of $170, what the company is trying to do is to help you get a return on your investment. You're going to make 1530. When you make 1530, you're pretty much even. You've made back almost all the investment, yeah, you got into this. You have gotten back your investment. And how good is that, to make a one-time investment, become a franchise owner, own the franchise for the rest of your life, but you have got recuperated what you invested. Now, after recuperating what you invested, you can now begin to use your franchise to make money. Now, once you become a franchise owner, the company gives you an online page called a back office. All fulfillments go through the company. Product doesn't go through your hand, only just first 10 boxes. You get a special customer link that you can share with people. Now, one of the things that I like to say about this 1549, one of the great things about the company is that the company, that you can pay that 1549 using your HSA or your FSA. If you have your HSA or FSA. In fact, when I was coming into this business as a distributor, I used my HSA account to pay for that. You could pay for it with cash if you want to, using a debit card or a credit card. The other thing which is sweet about this is you could finance this 100%, put zero down. There is in-house financing. There are many of our distributors in our organization who did not put down this 1549 cash or debit card. They financed it zero down. And the beautiful thing is that you could finance it either through PayPal or Affirm or Klarna. And I tell partners who come into our organization, when you finance, if this business model interests you and you would like to join, but you do not have the cash, don't let that 1549 be a limitation. You can finance it. If you finance it, you get your 10 boxes. And when you get your 10 boxes, because I do a science presentation in our organization every Sundays and Mondays. I break down the science of why we are sick. And I tell new partners who have just acquired their 10 boxes, the best way to sell those 10 boxes and recuperate your money back is to invite as many people in your sphere of influence to come listen to the science call. When they come listen to the science call and are impressed about the testimonies and the product and what have you, we tell them, go back to whoever invited you. They will give you a way to buy the box. That's how you can sell that box. So you can finance this zero down, become a distributor, and after becoming a distributor, invite your friends and families and groups and whatever you to the science call, and they get exposed to this amazing science. You sell your 9 boxes, you have almost all the money that you can go back, and take care of the financing that you did. Now, once you own the digital franchise, what happens is the two ways that you make money. First way you make money is just a simple customer model. The company will pay you $25 commission, a $20 to $25 commission. In the US is 25, in Canada is 20. The company will pay you a $25 commission for every customer that uses your link to buy the product. So you own the franchise and you have a customer, Bob. Every time Bob buys the product, the company will pay you a $25 commission. If let's say Bob uses this and Bob loses weight and he goes to Walmart and runs into Sue, and Sue says, "Wow, Bob, you are looking good. What happened?" And Bob says, "Listen, no, it's this stuff, natural stuff that I've been taking that has helped me lose some weight. My belly is flatter now. I'm sleeping better. My blood pressure is better." And Sue's like, "What? Whatever you have, I want that too." All of your customers are going to have what we call a customer referral link. So if Bob shares his customer referral link with Sue and Sue buys the product, even though you have never met Sue or don't know Sue, the company will pay you a $25 commission for Sue. If Sue goes and tells Joe and Joe and Jill buy the product because Sue is linked to Bob and Bob is linked to your franchise, you're going to get a $25 commission from Joe's order and from Jill's order. Just like that. If Joe and Jill go and tell 10 people and those 10 people buy, you get a $25 commission. So you can make an unlimited amount of commissions from your customer referral. Now, every time that your customer makes a referral, so when Bob refers Sue, the company is going to give Bob a $10 credit for the product. Now, the product costs on a monthly subscription $159 a month. And if you don't do a subscription, it costs $169 a month. So if Bob is on the monthly subscription because he has referred Sue, the next month that he wants to buy the product, it's going to cost him $149. So for every referral he makes, the company will credit him $10. Now, that's one way to make money. The other way to make money in this business is what we call is franchising yourself, having little tentacles of yourself. You see, the big companies like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and what have you, they knew that if they were ever going to become a billion-dollar company, they had to have little tentacles of themselves everywhere. And this is the same concept. As I said, this business is run using a multi-level marketing business platform. Now, how does that work? How do you make money in that? So let's say you're the franchise owner and you now tell Bob, "Hey Bob, this thing that you're doing like that." You now tell Bob, "Hey Bob, this thing I'm doing is very profitable. You need to look in getting into the business." And Bob says, "Yeah." And Bob says, "Tell me more." You tell Bob more, and Bob decides that he is going to make an investment of the 1549 and become a distributor. Every time you sign a distributor, a partner under you, so Bob becomes a franchisee under you. So he's an extension of you. He's like a little McDonald's of you. If let's say you own the McDonald's franchise, you're not a McDonald's franchise. Every time you sign a partner, the company will pay you a one-time $250 commission. So Bob is your partner and franchise owner. Let's say Bob is able to convince Sue and tell Sue, "Hey Sue, listen." And Bob is what I call your first generation partner. Okay. So Bob now tells Sue, "Sue, there is money in this business. You got to come into it." And Sue says, "Hey, sign me up." and Bob signs Sue as a distributor under him. Sue is what I call your second generation partner. Let's say Sue is able to convince Joe, Joe, you need to check this out. There is cheese to be made. And Joe signs as a partner under Sue. Joe is what I call your third generation partner. Now check this out. For first, second, and third generation partners, all of their customers in their franchise, the company will pay you a $5 to $10 commission. For fourth, fifth, and sixth generation partners, all of their customers in their franchise, the company will pay you a $5 commission. For seventh, eighth, and ninth generation partners, the company will pay you a $3 commission for all of their customers. For 10, 11, and 12 generation partners, the company will pay you a $1 commission. So you could amass commissions at 12 different levels. And this, I say, is a massive, massive opportunity. I've been in healthcare for 15 years, and healthcare is slowly shifting. People want to experience true healing. They want to get off their medications. People are asking the question, why is it that I've been on these meds for diabetes for this long and I'm still not healed? Why is it that I've been on these medicines for high blood pressure for this long? I'm still. People want to experience true and lasting health. And I consider this opportunity being like Amazon stock before Amazon became a household name. It is the modern day Amazon opportunity. And listen to me, guys, why I call it the modern day Amazon opportunity. Let's look at what Amazon did. Amazon was incepted in 1997. At the time of its inception, shares were going for $18. Okay. If you invested $1,000 in Amazon and just left it in the market, well, this projection is 2021, where they are saying 2.3 million. But by today's projection, you're probably going to be somewhere around 3 million. That's what Amazon stock did when nobody knew about it. And this is the same opportunity. Why is this the same opportunity? The timing. Currently in North America, and when I talk about North America, I mean all the countries, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Panama, Dominican Republic, all the countries that make up North America. Currently, only 0.1% of North America knows about this product or on it. That translates to 600,000 people, whereas the population of North America is 600 million. Timing. So you are in a position that coming in now, you could be at the top of the food chain down the road. Why? Because it is the company's vision that by 2040, they want to increase that 0.1% tenfolds to 1%. And 1% is 6 million. We're sitting right now at 600,000. The timing. So this is an opportunity to capitalize. And I'll go back and say this. Imagine having a solution to a problem that almost everybody has. 70% of adults in America right now are on at least one prescription medication. Imagine having the ability to be able to solve a problem that's almost everybody has and build wealth from it. And that's why I call this, the modern day Amazon opportunity. The timing is just wonderful. And so I will end by saying this. You see, the highest earner in this company, the highest earner in this company in North America is a young Canadian in his 30s. In 2013, he was going to go to medical school. He took the MCAT, scored very high on his MCAT. He could have gone to any medical school. That year that he was getting ready to go to medical school, Somebody presented him this product. He saw this and the light bulbs went off. He saw this as a solution to a problem almost everybody has. And he decided not to go to medical school and to build a business helping people solve this problem. This young guy now makes 15 to 17 million dollars a year, solving a problem almost everybody has. Disease is not going away. Our food systems, the way we eat, is the cause of our problem. And imagine being able to have a solution, for a problem that is rampant in society today. That's what he did. And he has built, a huge business just helping people solve their problem. I ask again, what value can you put to your health, to your life? You see, I've been in healthcare now for, if you add the amount of time I spent in medical school, 4 years in medical school, 15 years in as practice, 19 years in medical school. Full disclosure here, I have never made $1 million as a doctor. Never. If somebody had told me, hey, Dr. Dieter, you're a doctor, you're going to make $1 million, I'm going to laugh at them. And I'm going to ask that person, say, you tell me I'm going to make $1 million. So if somebody told me, Dr. Dieter, you're a doctor, you're going to be a millionaire being a doctor, I would have asked that person, what candle are you smoking? What candle are you smoking? Because the candle you're smoking, is stronger than the highest grade weed out there. Please step away from me if somebody had ever told me that. But if somebody came to me today because I know what I know now and tell me, Dr. Dieter, you're going to be a millionaire, I say, give that man a glass of wine. That guy knows something that many others don't know. You see, I'm jealous of this young Canadian who now makes 15 to 17 million dollars a year. He planted a tree that is yielding fruits. There is this Chinese saying that says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. And he planted his. I see, you and I cannot do anything about 20 years ago. 20 years ago is calm and gone. Calm and gone. But that same Chinese proverb says that the second best time to plant the tree is ahora. It's now. If you plant your tree now, in 3 years, in 5 years, in 7 years, somebody else will be talking about your tree, just like I'm talking about this young man's tree. So you have a chance to make a decision today that puts you in a pole position to build wealth. I invite you to consider partnering with us. The timing of this is wonderful. 0.1% of North America knows about this, and we're trying to get to 1%, just 6 million. Imagine building right now. Imagine having a solution to a problem almost everybody has, and the ability to be able to solve that problem. This is the opportunity we are presented with. If somebody came to me and said, Dr. Didi, I want to give you two options here, two things. I got two options for you. Pick what you will like. The first option is, I have this plan that if you were to work hard for the next 3 years and see this vision, you're going to work hard for 3 years. I'll not make you a millionaire in 1 month. But you're going to work hard for 3 years building a network. And after the end of those 3 years of hard work, you will be a millionaire for the rest of your life and never turn back. But the price to pay is hard work for 3 years. The second option, Dr. Dieter, don't do this hard work. Just continue to do what you're doing now. Just, and you will always live at that mediocre level for the rest of your life. The price to pay is you don't do any hard work. And the other reward to that is you remain at this level. Which will you choose? 3 years of hard work and be a millionaire after the end of that time, or continue to do what you're doing? And so I invite you again. You have a chance to make a decision that puts you at the pole position to build wealth and change your family's welfare and the welfare of your loved ones forever. So consider partnering with us today. And if this woos you and you're interested in knowing more about the science, I'm going to be doing a science call on Sunday where I break down the science of why we are sick and talk about how these products go in depth to solve the two main root causes. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for honoring the invitations of those who got you here today, and we look forward to partnering with you. Thank you and good night.
Doc-
Excuse me, Doc.
Dr.
Julius
Doc,
wanted to say something.
yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Dida, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Please, before you go, can you get on the products a little bit? You barely talked about the product, the Unimate, the balance. Can you, somebody joining in, I invited some people, but we barely talked about that. Can you just tell them Unimate, why the Unimate works, why the balance works, and put up the products, please? Thank you.
Okay. All right. So these are the products. When you say put up the products, is this okay? Give me 1 second. Oh, I stopped sharing my screen so you couldn't see that. 1 second.
I think if I understand him well, is that you should just run through a little bit of what the Unimate does and what the balance does, because probably these people were expecting to hear something.
Okay. Okay. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sure. I'll love to do that. So let's go. I'm trying to see which slide will be good. So two things. Unimate, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the products actually help to address these two root causes. Okay. Unimate, what Unimate does, first of all, Unimate is a nutraceutical that is made from a plant that is native to South America called the yerba mate plant. Okay. Now, it's rich in a special phytonutrient called chlorogenic acid. Um, Remember, I say that one of the reasons why we are sick is because our insulin has gotten burnt out. When you get burned out from a job, Shafe, the best way to recuperate from that burnout is to rest. So when insulin gets burned out because we've been processing calories so much, the best way insulin recuperates from its burnout to now become efficient in securing the body's energy needs is that insulin has to rest. So, what these products do is that they use the science of intermittent fasting and fiber supplementation to give insulin a rest. Why intermittent fasting? Um, when you're fasting, you're not taking in calories. When you're not taking in calories, insulin doesn't have to go to work. If insulin got burned out because if insulin was working 30 to 35% of the time, the way you have insulin recuperate is resting insulin. And intermittent fasting is a very core pillar of doing that. You see, When I talk about we eat in ways that harm our body, our ancestors never ate in this way. Our ancestors never ate 3 meals a day, let alone graze throughout the day, snacking. Some estimates say that our ancestors ate about 3 to 5 meals a day. So they were not overworking their insulin. So what we want to do is we want to rest your insulin so that your insulin recuperates from the burnout and now regains its efficiency in making energy. And what the Unamate does is that the Unamate helps you to be able to fast. When you're using both of these products, we recommend that you fast for 16 hours. 16 hours of fasting. We recommend that you drop breakfast as a meal and eat only lunch and dinner. And then after dinner, have nothing else to eat or drink of caloric value until lunch the next day. If you have dinner at 7 p.m. and go to bed at 10 and you wake up at 7 a.m., you have already been fasting for 12 hours from 7 p to 7 a. 8 of those hours were spent sleeping. So you now need to extend your fast for another 4 hours to get to 16 hours. The Unamate is beautiful in helping people to be able to intermittently fast. When you're intermittently fasting, you're resting your insulin. How does it do that? It does that by producing glucagon-like peptide 1. Many of you may have heard about this with the GLP-1 craze. The production of glucagon-like peptide 1 goes to your hunger center of your brain, shuts off your hunger center of your brain, so you can fast throughout breakfast without feeling hungry, miss breakfast, extend your fast for 16 hours. The longer your body is going without calories, the more insulin is getting rest. So that's what the Unamate does. And when insulin gets rested, then insulin is now able to become efficient again in restoring the body's energy needs. When you reverse the energy shortage, then those diseases that came as a result of insulin being inefficient, those diseases now go away. The other product is Balance. Balance is fiber made from 7 different plants. And fiber is very important in causing insulin to rest. Okay, so fiber also helps to address the issue. The Balance product helps to address the issue of insulin resistance, and it also helps to address the issue of the gut. Now, why? Remember, I said that our foods are so processed, and because our foods are so processed, we are not taking in an adequate amount of fiber, and the bacteria in our gut needs fiber to be able to have that 50-50% proportion. You see, in the United States, right, an average man is supposed to be consuming 35 grams of fiber a day, and a woman, that's for a man, and a woman is supposed to be taking in 25 grams of fiber a day. The NIH estimates that the average man and woman in the US takes 10 to 12 grams of fiber a day. If fiber is so important to maintain this balance, by you beginning to take the Balance product, which is high in fiber, it goes to restore this balance. When this balance is restored, the diseases that came as a result of this imbalance are restored. I hope that answers and touches the issue, Julius. So that is that, and thank you, Julius. I will end again by saying that you with this, making this invitation again, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, dream with me. You have an opportunity. You have a solution to a problem almost everybody has. You have an opportunity because of the timing to be in a pole position to be able to capitalize now. Dream with me. If you can see this vision that our world is sick, and that our modern day foods are not going to change, and that our solution uh, uh, can be a source of relief for people who are diabetics, blood pressure, and what have you. You could build a successful business, that will last a lifetime, that you could pass on to your children. You could build a legacy that you could pass on to your children. That is the opportunity we have in this. Dream with me, and I invite you to strongly consider partnering with us. Let us do two things. Let us influence and touch the lives of as many people as possible, and at the same time, build wealth. It's not just about the wealth. Wealth meets health meets wealth, and this is an opportunity for that. Thank you guys very much. If you have attended this today and you are you are impressed, with the potential of what this is, and you would like to take the next step, please, I implore you to talk to whoever invited you to this call today. They can help you take the next step to becoming a distributor, a partner, to get on this journey with us together. Thank you and good night.